Good morning. It is Monday. It's the 6th of April. And as always the case on Mondays, I just want to remind you that if you'd like to help this channel, click like, subscribe, and share. And by the way, if you're out there on Substack, restack this one too would be helpful. Anyway, even though Easter was yesterday, I do want to continue looking at some of the events around Easter, just us, just to remind us of all that the Lord has done for us. So I want to read from 1 Corinthians 1:18 and 25. You can read all of 1 Corinthians 1:18 to 31. The message of the cross is foolishness to those who are being destroyed, but it is the power of God for those who are being saved. The foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. Now, we've talked about this on other occasions, of course, and that is the fact that what the world considers wise is actually foolish. And what we consider wise, the world considers foolish. In other words, God's wisdom to the lost is always foolish. Well, why is God saying, or why do you say that God is saying, fill in the blank? Obviously, that's irrational and it makes no sense. Whereas God says that what you're doing is evil and it will be judged unless you accept Christ's payment for your sin, my judgment on him. Well, that's even more foolish. See, that's the point. We can share God's wisdom, and if somebody's open to the Holy Spirit, they'll hear it. Yesterday, we celebrated the resurrection, and the world tried to make that be foolish. You know, people talk about false news and all of that today. But what do you think they did with Jesus' resurrection? Well, it was his disciples who stole the body. And they were saying it in the time that the Gospels and the New Testament was written, and they're still saying it today, even though all the evidence, show me the receipts, contradicts that and makes it very clear that Jesus was resurrected, which is the validation of what he's done for us. So don't worry if the world thinks you're foolish, because if it thinks you're wise, you better look at how you're living. And it's God's opinion that matters, not anybody else's. And so look to the word where the foolish wisdom really is versus the internet, Facebook, Substack, X, formerly known as Twitter, etc., 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 where there is a tremendous lot of foolishness. So have a wise day and a wise week, and I'll see you again tomorrow.